T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Melons mess with the wrong melon farmers. Thug life. And here we go.
I prayed that he would burn in hell, but in my heart, I never held him.
You are all my children now.
Then I will avenge his death.
Hello, Sydney. Are you
Don't you
The Force will be with you. Always.
I wish I had you all alone, just the two of us.
On Halloween 1963 in Haddonfield, Illinois, 6-year-old Michael Myers murdered his own sister in cold blood. But it was 15 years later, on Halloween 1978, that the legend of the Myers murders was born. Having escaped protective custody, Laurie Strode as the sole survivor.
What's the boogeyman? What's the one where that stupid little kid believes? I totally believe in the boogeyman. I wish I had you all.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? Hey, Grandma.
I am not your grandma.
Ellie! What the fuck?
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Movies and Beyond. Once again, I am Michael, and today is Sunday. And with me on Sundays, as always, is Mad Matt from Mad Matt's Mask. What is up, my man? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. We're down to the OG, Michael. We're down to the OG. So,
did you say OG?
Super excited, man. Super excited. And you know, we're midway through October now. Dude, it's running through me, man. Just everything, the weather changing, the pumpkins on everybody's porches, the decorations, I'm really at a loss for words, man. I love this time of year so much that it's just stupid, man. And and then the chance to get on here and talk with you guys about my favorite franchise, Halloween.
Yeah.
Mid-October.
Like, I mean, whole month this month so far, right?
Asking me how I'm doing is like, dude, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. My only worry is that day after Halloween, man. I don't know if I'm alone, but that day after Halloween, man, I can get in a little funk. I'm not gonna lie. I could even get in a little funk, man, because I'm just riding that high. And the day after Halloween's a little bit rough for me. I tend to hide away, kind of just like, don't talk to me, I'll be all right, but just let me, give me a day. But dude, it's great to be here, Michael. I know you've had a very busy weekend.
Hell yeah.
With your everything you got going on. But I'm glad we were able to pull it together and come back and talk not just about Halloween, but I gotta say it again, the OG, man. I'm stoked to talk about the OG. So I'm doing great, Michael. Thanks.
I wonder if us talking about like the OG, like that feeling I have talking about that is how you felt when we got to talk about the Rob Zombie shit. You know what I mean? Like that's like, for me, this was all leading up to, this one for me to be super excited to talk. Like, I'm always excited to talk Halloween, no matter which one it is, right?
You're probably in a little bit better of a place than I was, because like, yes, I love, Rob Zombie's Halloween, but I also know how many haters there are out there. So I know I got a little bit of a battle. You should be in a much more comfortable position, because you're talking about, the OG that I'd say 95% of us love, Halloween fans. So I see what you're saying, but yes, I enjoy talking about Rob Zombie, but I am also, I can be a little uncomfortable when I know I got so many people that also, disagree with me. So I don't think you're going to have that, going on.
That never bothered me. I've always welcomed friendly debates. It's when
and I wish it did it.
It's when debates get out of control and people start name calling or something like that. That's when I'm done. At that point. If someone doesn't like something, it's like, oh shit, well, why? Like what don't you like about this one?
And it's something I know that you're never going to have on your show. So, maybe that should set me more at ease, because, we're not going to have that. And I love that about this show. So, but I guess it's in the back of my mind thing. Like, it don't matter if we're talking Halloween, but if it's something I know I love, but I also know there's a lot of people that are like, no, you kind of can't help but have that in the back of your mind,
I think that motivates me a little more to talk about something I like, if someone's like, because I've been approached before by, people saying like, why don't you like Rob Zombie Halloween? I saw on your show you didn't like Rob Zombie Halloween. Why? And it's like, well, let me get a drink and let's talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, like I've always welcomed that, because I know that when I'm going to debate with someone on whether I like something or I don't, it's going to be healthy and it's going to be, constructive, and it's not going to be like, I hate you because you don't like this movie. Dude, that's not the energy that I try to bring, with anything. Like if I don't like something, well, I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm going to cater towards your wishes and say that you're right or this or that, dude. It's all fun. Like once you take the fun out of a debate, then it, you know, or people get mad or something like that, then it no longer becomes something I want to participate in.
I mean, dude, you and I became, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, you and I became great friends on disagreeing. Like
100%, dude.
You know.
I mean, have you ever seen the movie Clerks? Have you ever seen Clerks? It's a Kevin Smith movie where they sit there, they disagree about everything, but they're best friends. You know what I mean? It's like, how boring would it be if every time me and you had a conversation about a movie that we're both like, oh, it was great, I loved it, this was, you know, it's like, no, dude, like I'm gonna be that person that always looks at this, you're gonna be that person that always looks at that, man, and deal with it. And
we always stuck to our guns, man.
It's standing for what you like and what you don't, man, and it's healthy. Like it's I welcome the debate. I welcome the debate always.
It is. I think it's actually unhealthy when the person is, if you ever find yourself trying to like something solely to fit in, abandon that shit. No matter how popular it is, abandon that shit. You know, it don't matter how off the wall it is. You know, you can be saying, you know, I don't care. Basket Case is a better movie than the original Halloween. If that's how you feel, run with it, dude. Run with it,
man.
You know, so yeah, man. That's what's cool about the channel, though, that we have. You know, and maybe I should get more comfortable with that. You know.
Stand strong, my friend. You know your shit.
And I try to, but I'm just saying it's something like in the back of my mind when I love something that I know, you know, everybody else doesn't. I'm not saying I don't have a good time, you know, speaking my piece, but you know, I guess it makes it a tad less fun when I know I got a bunch of haters on my back, you know.
But see, you're also talking to a fan of Jason X, right?
Yeah.
So how many debates have you personally seen me stand in on? You know what I mean? To where it's like, look, I'll defend this movie. Like, I'll stand on a hill with this movie. You know what I mean? It's terrible. Yeah, I know, but I still love it. Yeah. You know, I still love all the bad things about it.
That's what it comes down to. You could even there's a lot of movies I know that are well written. Acting is terrible. Mm-hmm. But damn it, if it comes down to like that's just one you like to put in and have a good time, then so be it, man. Yeah. So be it. You know, so be it. And there's plenty of those out there, man. I get it. Those what do you call it? Like what's the word I'm looking for? Those you know, it's my what's the word I'm what
talking about, like fair weather.
Pleasure.
Or guilty pleasures. Yeah.
You know, it's my guilty pleasure. Like, you know, I know this movie is just batshit bonkers, but damn it, when the freaking weather turns and it's Halloween, you know, dude, I'm a huge Hubie Halloween fan.
Right.
Dude. You know, and I'll say that over and over. Like, you know, the movie is crazy. It's stupid. It's, you know, but damn it, I love it.
But damn it, I'm about to watch it again, right?
Yeah, man. So
100%.
You like what you like, man. And all that is welcome here on Movies and Beyond. If I'm not overstepping, Michael.
Oh, 100%, dude. Like I want everybody to feel comfortable voicing what they like here, dude. And it's always been that way. Whether I agree with them or not, whether you agree with them or not, whether any other guest in here agrees with them or not, dude. Like I'm a fan of a lot of other YouTubers that I watch, you know, for different reasons and things like that. And then half the time they'll put their charts up. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? You know what I mean? But it's just like, I don't ever hold that in a dark light to where it's just like, oh man, this guy's full of shit. No, dude, it's his opinion is different than yours, or her opinion is different than yours. It doesn't matter, man. You know, their opinion is different than yours. It doesn't mean that you should sit here and be, oh, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. No, dude, that's not why we're here. You know what I mean? It's just like, I tend to disagree with that statement. Like the amount of Friday the 13th shit that I watch, you know what I mean? And so many people put X at the very bottom, even under, you know, number 9. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, that's the face that you just made right there. that I, live in that world, dude. And it's just like, you know what?
I bet
You know,
it is.
that's the thing, though, bro. And that's the thing that makes the shit so fun. But before we jump in the chat, because they are going, man, I think while the intro was running, it was like comments 37. You know what I mean? So I know that I'm 37 behind, not only what was before that and after. Let me say what's up to my Patreon people first. Let me give them their moment before I jump in the chat. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so Michael's going to have to scroll up because you guys are going a mile a minute in the chat, and I absolutely love it. Let's start off with the first comment. StreamYard doesn't always transfer everything over from YouTube, but the first chat I have here is from Lydia saying, "Howdy ho, officers. Happy 600 subscribers, and don't forget to smack that like button on your way to support the show." Thank you, Lydia. I had no idea I had 600 subscribers, but I appreciate it. Whatsoever. Val's views. Val is in the chat. The general is in the chat. And the general always gets the salute from Movies and Beyond. And I'm going to make it a double salute for the month of October and Halloween. I wouldn't want to say, I don't even know. We should have named our Halloween, little month here that we had. We'll do better next year. Saying congratulations, Mike, on 605 subs. So proud of you. Here is to reaching 700. Thank you very much, Val. And I want to thank you guys for looking at that because I have not even looked at that. I appreciate it. And thank you so much to all 605 subscribers that have wanted to listen to some of the shit that we're talking about on here. I appreciate every single one of you, 100%.
Man, damn straight, because we're bad shit. So, hell yeah.
Steven Carpenter's in the chat saying, "Hello, everyone." What is up, Steven? What is going on, my man?
Steven Carpenter, welcome to Movies and Beyond, man. It's great to have you on here, buddy. Great to have you on here.
The general's jumping in the chat saying, "Welcome to the channel, and please hit that like button, subscribe if you already haven't, and share this video on your social media. Hit that bell icon to get notifications of new videos and upcoming live streams." Yes, thank you, Val. I couldn't have said it better myself. Hell, I couldn't even have said it half as good as you did. Fantastic. 100%. Thank you, Val. Thank you. All right, let's see. James has entered the chat. The Shape is saying, "Hi there, everybody." And hi, everybody out there. I hope you had a great day. Just had a moment right there, you guys. But
no worries. James, I had a great day. Most of it I spent hanging out with you, my good friend. Good to see you, James. Good to see you, buddy.
And James is also saying, "Watching Halloween 78 as we speak, my all-time favorite one of all." Dude, you can put me on that list too, 100%. What is up, my man?
Nobody's hating on that. No one's hating on that.
Russell Dorsey's in the chat saying, "What's up, everybody? I smashed that like button before I came in this awesome stream and chat. Happy Sunday, everyone." Russell, what's up, my man? And do me a favor, dude. And when this is over, go to my short section. I put up an Ahsoka short that I think that you might enjoy if you haven't checked out already, buddy. What's up, Russell?
Russell, there's something about you popping on here every Sunday that just like warms my freaking heart, dude. It's great to see you, Russell, man. You're a true horror fan, and I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Great to see you, buddy.
John Carpenter's in the chat saying, "Hello." What is up, John Carpenter? What is going on, my man?
John, great to see you in here, my friend. Great to see you in here. Welcome.
Great name,
John Carpenter. Yeah, I know he's a great guy. Great guy, man. So yeah.
Kim is in the chat saying, "Hi, everyone." What's up, Kim? What is going on?
Kim, I love you. What's going on? Good to see you, Kim.
See, Melissa's in the chat saying, "Hey, what's up, Melissa? Glad to have you here as always. What's up?"
Hello, Melissa.
And Dino's in the chat saying, "What's up, everybody? What's up, Dino? That's my guy right there. What is going on, man?"
I know. He is your boy. What's up, Dino?
Russell is saying, "Here we go, folks. Back to Haddonfield." That's what I'm talking about, man. You might as well call this channel Haddonfield for the month of October.
Go in October.
You know that's where we're gonna be at in October.
Than Haddonfield, man. What better place to go? Hell yeah.
Katie from Popping the Popcorn is in the chat saying, "Hi, friends." Another one of my mods. What is up, Katie? And you know what? I didn't mention this last week, and I definitely meant to mention this. Katie has recently hit 1,000 subscribers on her channel. So I want to say a big congrats to Katie from Popping the Popcorn, and keep doing what you're doing, my friend.
That is awesome.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, I got to piggyback on that. Congrats, Katie. That's awesome. Congrats.
Jerry Wilson's in the chat. Not only is in the chat, he is representing Thug Life. What is up, man? Thug Life.
Dude, it's not an easy feat, man. 1,000 subscribers, like
killing it, man. Just killing it over there, man.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Jerry, what's up, man? What's up, Jerry?
Jerry's another one of the mod. He's the newest mod, man, and he's in there doing his thing, man. Jerry,
I didn't know Jerry was a mod.
Jerry was a mod as of 2 weeks ago, man. Like he's been holding it down. You know what I mean?
Welcome, Jerry, as a crew of the mods, man. That's awesome.
He has joined what my mods are calling the mod squad. So that's definitely awesome because, you know, not to jump the gun on anything we're talking about, but you know, going to Scarefest this year, it looks like we're gonna have Val, we're gonna have Lydia, we're gonna have Jerry, we're gonna have 3 of the 5 mod squad in the house at Scarefest. I definitely want pictures with all of us for the channel for sure. 100% for that.
That's awesome.
John is in the chat saying, "Hi peeps, what is up, John? What is up, my man?"
What's up, John? Always good to see you, buddy. Always good to see you, man.
And the one and only Jeff D'Angelo is in the chat saying, "Hello, everyone." Jeff, what is up, my man? I haven't seen you in a minute, but definitely good to see you here on the channel for sure.
Yeah, what's up, Jeff? What's up, buddy?
Dude, it's so great, like looking through the chat to throw these up. The amount of people in our chat that are saying what's up to each other, not just to me and you, but to each other, just makes me feel so good about looking through all this stuff right here.
Dude, it is great. It is great. That's where I go back to, you know, the whole building a small horror community here, Michael, and that's what we're doing, man.
It's fun, dude. It's super fun.
You know, you talk about like, you know, the Mad Matt's mask, you know, the shop I'm doing, Movies and Beyond, all of them like coming together. There's so many people that are on the show that I see in the shop. There's people in the shop that come on the show. Like, dude, we all come together for one reason, that we all love horror. And that's what it's about, man. If we all can come together and the horror communities, dude, there is no better community, man. If you ask me, I will say that, you know, till the day I die. Like, the horror community is where it's at. So if I can be a small piece of that with you, Michael, and all you wonderful people on here, then, dude, I'm in.
I'm still sure they come into this channel to watch us because we're fucking idiots. Like, I'm pretty sure that this is entertainment value for them. I'm just playing, man. Yeah, 100%, dude. Like, it's always great to, you know, just have a bunch of people in that love the same stuff or don't like the same stuff. To just sit there and have those conversations. 100%.
Like, and so many of you, and I go as far as, like, I'm not leaving anyone out. You know, Michael, you know, we have our get-togethers, man, and I welcome all of you. You know, we have some horror get-togethers where we, you know, we meet up if you're nearby, and you say the Mainville area. We have our beer and wings, and we go back to my personal horror den, and we watch horror movies. That goes out to all of you, man. I just welcome it. I love the horror community, man. So yeah, if anybody wants to get in on that and join us, hit us up. Hit us up.
Hell yeah, man.
You know, I welcome all of you. But yeah.
James is saying, my neighbor got pissed off, had my amp up too loud, and he came over and asked me to turn it down. Did you tell him it was John Carpenter's Halloween, James? Did you let him know? Did you let him know that you were watching a modern classic on your freaking TV? Put your coveralls on and your mask on, James.
Yeah, and then see what he's got to say. Shit, get that butcher knife out that you just purchased at the booth from me. See what he's got to say about that shit, man. Like, no. Maybe like, dude, it's fine.
Play the Halloween theme song while you do it, man.
My mistake.
100%.
Yeah, don't mess with James. Dude, don't mess with James. Dude, that's like, no. Don't mess with James.
Katie from Poppin' the Popcorn is saying, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And yeah, I'm so bad at this, dude. And it's just like, you know, my mod's always looking out for me. If you guys are having a good time, if you like hanging out with us, if you like the show, if you are a fan of Mad Matt and Mad Matt's Mask, if you are a fan of Michael at Movies and Beyond, hit that thumbs up for us. 100%. Thanks, Katie. Thank you. Let's see. Melissa's saying, I saw a good short film today, had Jason in it. Don't like Hike in it. Don't Hike Alone 2. Oh, she's saying she watched Never Hike Alone 2 and it was good. Yes, Never Hike Alone 2 did drop on Friday the 13th. And I would love to hear what a bunch of you had to say. I want to do a watch party for it. It's probably going to be sometime after Scarefest because we did watch Never Hike Alone 1. You remember, Matt, we did that.
Absolutely.
So I definitely like to do Never Hike Alone 2.
And we did Never Hike in the Snow.
Yeah. We did it all together on the Ghost Cut that put them both together. But this one, man, Never Hike Alone 2, if you haven't seen it, it was pretty good. And it looked beautiful. It was absolutely awesome. But with Never Hike Alone 2, man, I think it had an hour and 12-minute runtime. So he finished.
Wow.
He went through it, man. Definitely 100%.
So I could be mistaken. I don't know if I've seen it or not.
Well, it came out Friday, so it's only a day and a half old.
Well, then no, I've not seen it. No.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's free, 100%. Just go over to Womp Stomp Films. And we had Vince on here talking about it a few months back, and man, he came through with it, dude. It was definitely a fun watch, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Lydia, another one of my mods in the chat, saying you can support Halloween Lives fan film on their Indiegogo here at Providing the Link. She did. Again, look, guys, this movie, we want to help Brandon get his movie made. You know, he has a lot of great perks in there, from DVDs, the coffee mugs, the t-shirts, the posters, all kinds of stuff on there. If you want to see this project and you are a fan and you are able, I'm not saying don't contribute if you can't at this moment. I know times are tough right now, but if you can and you want to help out this project, Lydia has provided the link below. Go check it out, at least, for sure, 100%. Let's see what we have. John Carpenter again saying, hello, Matt. What is going on, dude?
What's up, John? What's up, John? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, man. And John has a young girl, and it's going to be her birthday. So I just want to wish her happy birthday. And she is also a huge Predator fan. And you know me, man, I'm a Predator fan. So, John, if you could let us know your daughter's name. I apologize. I do not remember, but I would love to officially wish her happy birthday. And she picked up an awesome Predator figure from the shop today. And I just hope she loves it, man. I love my Predator fans. John's a great guy. And yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jeff DeAngelo is also saying, Kaylee is here with me and says hello. What's up, Kaylee?
Kaylee, man, you were due to give me a hug. Like I'm getting kind of sad over here. Like I usually get a hug from Kaylee, like I'd say every other weekend, And it's been, Kaylee, it's been like a month and a half, girl. What's up, man? Like, I hope you're doing well. I miss you. But yeah, I need some love from you, girl. It's good to see you, buddy. It's good to see you. Great kid, Kaylee. Great kid.
Let's see. Russell is saying, he's talking to Melissa, but he is bringing up a question. Have you seen Vengeance from Friday the 13th fan film? Yes, there is a Vengeance 1 and 2. And that was actually on the docket for Movies and Beyond a few weeks ago, but it got replaced by something else. And Russell or anyone else in the chat, if you do like Vengeance or you haven't seen Vengeance yet, I'm a big fan of Vengeance. I will be doing that after Scarefest next weekend. At some point, Friday the 13th Vengeance will be a fan film, both part 1 and 2, that we will definitely take a look at here. Very vicious Jason in this one, and it's freaking fun.
What I hate about that is, I mean, I love all the fan films, but when I started watching fan films, it wasn't that long ago, and I just started just hitting them left and right. So so I don't really know if I'm know all the names, or because I want to say I've seen Vengeance. But I'm not 100% sure.
I'll tell you what, Vengeance 2 had some brutal Jason in a crowd of people type murder, crazy shit. Like it was like an unleashed Jason. Dude, Russell, yeah, dude, you know about it. We're gonna dive into that in Movies and Beyond, 100% for sure. Denisha Lane is in the chat saying, hey, everyone. What's up, Denisha? Glad to have you here as always. Love you hanging out with us for sure. 100%.
Hello, Denisha. Welcome.
Let's see what we got here. We've got a whole bunch of chats in here. Russell is saying, Michael and Matt, you should check out Never Hike Alone 2 Friday the 13th fan film. Dude, I watched it at like 10:15 when it came out at 10 p.m. on Friday night. So, dude, when it came out, I was there 100%. I have seen this movie. I've actually seen it twice. And yes, big fan. I did have a good time watching this movie.
Russell,
yeah, dude, it's free on YouTube, man.
I've not seen it. Friday, once I got home, I was out cold. But yeah, I want to check it out for sure.
I just want to throw this up here because that's what I'm talking about, Melissa. That's what I'm talking about, 100%.
You didn't have a whole lot of trouble putting that on there.
And you go through them, you see all the haze to everybody else, people talking to each other and everything, man, and you just throw this up there, and it's just like, yeah, that's definitely getting some airtime on Movies and Beyond, 100%.
Now, let me know, because I'm getting some messages. Was our good friend Darian? Did he happen to come on? He's trying to give us a shout out, saying he's on there, but I'm not sure.
Well, he might be in the chat, and I'm trying to get through all of it because you know how our people go, man.
No, I get it.
100%.
I was just simply saying, yeah, I get it. It's got to be like it's a job that. Better you than me, Michael. Better you than me.
I would love to hand it off. Actually, no, I wouldn't. I love clicking on all these.
But Darian, man, hello and welcome, dude. I love seeing you on here. So, he's a good friend of mine.
The Shape James is saying, Never Hike Alone 2 rocked. I love it. That's what I'm talking about, man.
So
they definitely reference.
James got to see it. That's awesome.
Let's see. Lydia's posted in the chat. If you'd like to support the show, please join Patreon and partake in the additional content. And she provides the link below. If you want to support this channel, there are options for everyone. There's $3, there's $6, there's $9. And you are not limited to what you can see. If you do the $3 option, that's fantastic. You'll be able to see everything posted. The $6 option has a few more perks. And the $9 option has a few more perks. If you would like to support this show and you are having a good time, go check out the Patreon link provided below. We're definitely doing some cool stuff. And a lot of Patreon members don't know, but I've definitely been working on something big for them, to which they should see in about 2 weeks, as well as a new Real or Fake coming very shortly, to where there are certain members of Patreon who get additional perks, who have signed up for additional perks on Patreon. And I will be doing a real or fake collab with some of my VIP memberships on that channel, to where they will be joining me on some real or fakes, and we will be talking about, you know, the things we're seeing in that video. And the first person that will be on the next real or fake that I do collab will be one of my moderators, Jerry Wilson, who has definitely been a supporter. He was the first Patreon member to join. And I will get back to you, Jerry, on what we're doing for that. I have a really cool video that we're going to do very soon, my friend. More than likely after Scarefest, because I have a busy week this coming week. I am going to drop a video for Patreon prior to Scarefest. And then when we come back, we will get the real or fake collab. So I'm definitely excited about that one, 100%.
Another thing I'll throw this out there, Michael, that you and I might have to do, man. You know, and we could talk about it a little bit more. But we might have to travel, man. Travel to these amazing, you know, to the Crystal Lake setup. Travel,
dude. That's happening. That's happening next year, 100%. I want to do that Camp Crystal Lake tour. Like,
I haven't heard about it. This is
it's next year. It's around September-ish.
I mean, maybe I'm not invited. I want to invite myself. That's for sure.
They found us out. Found us out. No, dude, 100%. I agree with you 100%. Can you imagine me in Camp Crystal Lake? I'm gonna be like a kid in a candy store, dude. I'm gonna be a little nut out there, dude. Like 100%.
Yeah.
That's my Haddonfield for you. You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
Yeah, and I could honestly just have just as much fun at Crystal Lake. You know, but man, I think we need to do that. I'm down.
100%.
You know, if anyone out there wants to go with me, you know, just
anyone at all.
Anyone at all.
It's gonna be a blast, dude. We're gonna take some cameras out there, dude. We're gonna have some fun. I will definitely look into that so we can get out there. Could you imagine Movies and Beyond from Camp Crystal Lake?
Over time, I'm sure there's gonna be one person that'll want to go with me, like, you know, somebody. Like, I'll reach out to some aunts and uncles. It's gotta be somebody.
Hey, man, somebody will go with you, 100% for sure. 100%. Dude, that's definitely got to happen.
Lydia's raising her hand. Lydia will go. So okay.
Hey, there it is, man. There it is. There's a lot of things, you know, and I'm still halfway through the chat. I haven't even got through all of it. But I don't know if you've seen it yet, and I really wish I would have put it up here so you could see it too. The Strangers trilogy released their first poster this week.
So down for that.
I know. I'm excited about it, man. Little nervous about what they were saying on Bloody Disgusting about the back end of that, you know, talking about they're going to show why the strangers do what they do. And it makes me nervous because they're strangers. We're not supposed to know what strangers. You want to stay strange. You know, you want to be a stranger. I'm not supposed to know why you're doing what you're doing. So that does make me nervous. They reported on Bloody Disgusting that they were going to explain why they're doing what they're doing. And you know me with that, man.
I do. And it's like the thinnest line you can have. It's the thinnest line you can have. Like, I also see, like, where if they're gonna make sequel after sequel, you got to do something. But yeah, Michael, I see what you're saying. Like, it's a task I would not want to take on. I'll say that. Same as like, I just, after I got out of the theater watching the new Exorcist, I thought it was just a movie. The Exorcist, Believer, one and done.
Yeah.
And I found out that David Gordon Green is turning that into a trilogy.
Yeah, they paid $400 million for the rights to do a trilogy.
And, you know, for whatever reason, I didn't know that, you know. Call me a jackass. It won't be the first time. But I thought it was just that movie. Once I heard that, I'm just both intrigued and scared to death, because I'll say this, I did thoroughly enjoy The Exorcist, but like, how are they going to do 2 more movies out of that? I'm just not sure.
Yeah.
You know, and for what it's worth, you know, we saw what he did with the Halloween trilogy, you know, whether you loved it or hate it, you know, but I think we can all agree on that it's kind of a little bit back and forth, you know. So I'm excited. I just don't know what he's going to do. I don't know, but yeah. I didn't know he was doing 3. I thought he was. I thought he was just hitting The Exorcist, and you know. So.
Well, thank God he's doing 3. Because at 400 million, that's a hole to dig yourself out of. Dude, that's not including paying your actors, paying for the movie. That's just, I'm paying you $400 million so I can make a movie with the title The Exorcist on it.
Yeah, and like, I'll stay positive. I'm on board with him. Like, in my opinion, I won't go into depth at all, but in my opinion, his first one was a success. So, you know, his second and third, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, but that is something like, dude, I mean, you got to give him the credit for just the balls he had to do that. Like, no, I would not take that on. Like hell no.
Yeah.
You know,
no,
I mean,
not a chance. You're already starting on a hole with a name like that. 100%. Like,
yeah, because you know that movie was so much about its time, and I took that into consideration when I was watching it. You know, you just can't go back in time with that, and it had so much to do with the time.
Yeah,
and everything that happened in The Exorcist at that time, we hadn't seen anything like that. So it was a just one of a kind that absolutely cannot be, you know, duplicated. But he, you know, in my opinion, he made it.
Think that Matt might have froze up there, buddy. If you could still hear me, you might want to try to exit out and join back in. I think you froze up on me there for a second. Dark Witch is in the chat saying, hey, everyone. What is up, Dark Witch? What is going on? Let's see what else we got. Denisha saying, yes, Michael, congratulations. Thank you, Denisha. I appreciate that. I appreciate that for sure. 100%. Let's see what else we got here. Russell is saying that Tommy Jarvis from Friday the 13th, part 6. Yes, it was Tom Matthews, dude. And he's just like, Tom Matthews is awesome. 100%. Lydia is saying in the chat, like and follow Mad Matt's Mask on Facebook to keep up with the latest projects coming to the shop located in Monroe, Ohio. And she provides the link below. So if you are looking for a certain horror item, that there's a good chance that Mad Matt may have it or can get it for you. So there's the link to his Facebook page. You can go ahead and jump in right there, and you can be able to get a hold of Mad Matt for sure to get that. There you are, buddy. Welcome back.
I'm not sure what happened.
It's probably internet stuff,
okay.
Dude. So
am I the only one that left?
As far as I could tell, man, but I mean, it's happened to me. Shit, you remember on the show a couple weeks ago, I got dropped. You know what I mean? Like, it just.
Did I miss anything?
No, I just went through the chats. Lydia's just posted a chat, and Russell was talking about Tommy Jarvis from Friday the 13th, part 6. Denisha Lane's in the chat saying, Michael, you guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Denisha. I appreciate it. 100%. Dark Witch is saying, Michael and Matt, you guys rock. Thank you so much, Dark Witch. I appreciate that for sure. 100%.
I don't see it, but thank you. Like, thank you. You rock. Like, yeah, we are just two guys that love horror. Like, but yeah, Dark Witch, great to see you on here, and yeah, you freaking rock. Like,
100%, man.
Hell yeah. And
Caleb Hernandez is in the chat saying, what's up? Scary Movie 2 Scream Voice. That's what I am talking about. Caleb, what is up, my man? What is going on?
Now, if I'm not mistaken, is that also Caleb Creates? Because Caleb Creates, man, dude is a beast. I got the chance to meet him at Horror Hound, and welcome, Caleb. Welcome, man. You know, he's the guy who I showed you when he made the clay Michael in between the sheets that I had.
Like, oh yeah, man. I definitely remember that. The little figurine.
Yeah, his work is sick, and from what I'm understanding, he's just busting more and more out, and it's just, you know, the fact that he does that out of clay is just mind-boggling. But
that's freaking awesome,
Caleb. It's you know, welcome, man, welcome.
Oh yeah. Wayne Turner is in the chat saying, hi all, I am late in the future on Monday at 11:33 p.m. Off to the doctors for my Telardone lesion in my right ankle. Dude, if I said that wrong, I apologize. Going to need an ankle operation. Dude, Wayne, what's up, man? Dude, I hope that everything goes well with that, buddy. And keep me updated and let me know what's going on with you, man. Wayne, definitely somebody that's here all the time, dude. And Wayne, good luck to you, brother. And let me know for sure, 100% how you're doing.
Yeah, take care of that, Wayne. And man, it's always great to see you on here, especially when you've got other stuff to deal with, man. So yeah, take care of yourself, man. And we're here for you, Wayne, for sure.
Melissa saying, I like the music from H18 when Allison sees Michael. The music is really good. You're talking about the Shea Punks, Allison. That oh my god, dude, that is one of my favorites. And
I'm not even acting like I didn't know that until you told me that. Like,
bro, that's one of my favorites from that movie. 100%.
Hans Allison, you told me that, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like that shit is dope.
I just wanted it to be a little longer than it was, but other than that, dude, like you could have done so much with that. Oh,
and that's everything that's great, though. That's everything that's great. We wanted a tad bit longer, but it wouldn't have that.
You wanted just a little bit more because it was so good.
That's everything that's great.
Yeah, dude, 100%.
Go back to the original Hellraiser. I wanted to see Pinhead just a little bit longer.
Just a little longer. Give me a little more Pinhead. But see, that's the good thing about, somebody that makes something and you want just a little bit more, right? Mm-hmm. That's something that you want. Something good, you want just a little bit more. Yeah, and that's a good way.
Even going back to the Pinhead, like, dude, he never had plans of ever having Pinhead in his films again. Yeah. That he was just supposed to be that little part in that, the end of Hellraiser.
Yeah.
And dude, he became the face of the freaking franchise. Like, it goes to show you, man. Like, when something's super badass, man, we can't get enough of it.
Oh yeah.
That's where I feel like I should have these little minions that like agree with me, like, because I've been talking to Lydia and friends and stuff. Like, I'm so visual. I've talked to you about this, Michael, and you guys. I'm so visual, like, where the nun and all that stuff. Just a bad nun movie that shows the nun a lot. I'll put above a really good, well thought out movie that has no creature in it. I will, because I'm just that visual. Like, I'm not saying that's right or that's the way to go, but I'm just saying that's where I'm at. Like, I'm so visual, man. Like, because to me, I can't fathom that he only wanted to put in there for a small second, never had plans to have him in there again. Like, no, dude, we got to see that mother effer. Like, he's badass. Like,
I like looking at you. I want more.
Yeah. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm so visual, especially if it's a badass creature, man. That's just gorgeous. I've always wanted more. Jason, Michael.
Oh yeah, dude.
I love the look of Jason. If Jason, had the mask of Happy Death Day or whatever, that little big giant baby face, like, dude, I could give two shits about that franchise. Honestly.
Right.
And it could be the same story, same everything, but like that's just where I'm at. I'm not saying everybody's there, but I'm huge on the visual, man. Yeah, get that character looking badass, and
it just makes you want more because you like the aesthetic, the look, all that stuff, man. 100%.
Yeah, and that's not saying I don't like a good story. It's not saying that. But it just, for me, it goes a long way. It goes a long way.
Yeah, definitely. Wayne Turner saying I've contributed to Halloween lives here in the future. That's what I'm talking about, Wayne. 100%, dude.
Hell yeah.
100%. Okay, Matt, if you go up on your StreamYard and you hit the comment section, I'd like you to go through some of the comments real quick. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, and I've also have an empty cup, so I want to go ahead and refill that as well. So if you can give me like 2 or 3 minutes, I will be right back.
Everybody needs a little Gatorade.
Everybody does need a little bit of Gatorade.
We all need a little Gatorade.
Everybody needs a little bit of Gatorade.
So yeah, I see the comments. So yeah, do your thing, Michael.
All right, I will be right back.
I got this, guys. I think I got this. Now we've got Megan Adams. His store in Trader's World is lit, and Megan, I love that. I absolutely love that. I don't know if all of you have been up to Trader's World, if you're in that area, but that is where I am. That's where Mad Matt's Mask is. We have 2 booths in there now. We have one in the main aisle, and we have one in Building 1A. But I'll just say real quick, because this isn't all about me, but real quick, what we're doing is I'm trying to bring horror collectibles to you horror fans, and I'm trying to bring a little bit of everything, whether you're looking for the basic Jason NECA figure. We have that. If you're looking to take your collection to that next level and you want a custom screen accurate Michael Myers mask, we have that too, guys. I love it. I started the booth to have a little something to do on the side, and I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the horror community. I fell in love with collecting. I'm a big collector myself. Yeah, I hope I can get a chance to meet all you guys. Some of you who haven't maybe haven't been in the shop, but you come on the show. I'd love to see you guys and meet you in person. But even and it's not just about like coming in and purchasing something. If you can come in and talk to me about horror, dude, I love it. I freaking love it, guys, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Let me try to read some of these. Russell, Doug Bradley did a movie called The Exorcist 2023. Russell, I don't know about that. The boss is away. Go crazy, chat. Hell yeah, dude. Our chat is awesome. They can't arrest all of us. I love it, guys. They can't arrest all of us. Man, I'm trying to read them, but they're going crazy. Melissa, is it like a mall with tons of shops? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Melissa. It's a if you're talking about Trader's World, it's a flea market, and there are tons of booths, and I wouldn't think of it as like a flea market because there are some amazing shops in there. Now, there are some that are like typical flea market, like where you have like your dollar items and things like that. But there are some shops where people have put their heart and soul into it, all the funds they have, and there are some sick shops. And it's stuff that you don't see every day. That's what's so cool about it, I think. You can go to the mall, Target, whatever, and you're seeing the same shit all the time. Trader's World, man, no. You can find that rare piece you're looking for. You can just be amazed at some of the stuff you see. So, like, if you've not been there, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Let me try to read some other of these. Both the shop and show is awesome. I love hearing that, guys. You guys are great. No, John, no, that's just. I don't know why they're going so crazy, guys. I'm not the best to regulate this kind of stuff. But I freaking love you guys, and I'll tell you one thing. When Michael, asked me to come on the show, I was absolutely thrilled. It's all new to me. I'm not a social media person, but to be able to get on here and talk my favorite genre, horror, with you guys has been nothing short of amazing. Like, nothing short of amazing. And to have that plus the booth and just to get to know more of you, it's a blessing, man. It's an absolute blessing. So, he's back, so be quiet.
You act like this isn't on my TV too, because I have other people watching it. You know what I mean?
I was trying my best.
Hey, doing fine, man.
These guys are great, but I love it, man. Between the shop and the show, it's, for me, guys, it honestly is like a dream come true. It really is, The
dreams come true.
The shop is like, do what I love, make a little extra money at the same time is fantastic. And then, Michael being kind enough to ask me to come on his show and just expand on that and meet more of the horror community is just, it's just feeding the love I have for this. So I absolutely love it, man.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Jamie Hart's in the chat saying, hello. What's up, Jamie? Jamie is going to be at Scarefest this week. So that's crazy, right? I'm saying Scarefest this week. So that means
it's creeping up. It's really creeping up. Like,
this week. Like, Scarefest is this. Dude, that shit went fast. Like, I did not expect, we've been talking about Scarefest since probably January of, this year, the beginning of the year. And I feel like it's gone so fast, man. And it was something that I'm definitely looking forward to the most. And that's freaking awesome.
Michael, I remember your face because we both got our pass.
Well, I screamed. I was at your shop and I was like, VIP tickets are available for Scarefest. You know what I mean? Like,
VIPs.
Yeah.
At the shop at the same time. And I'm sorry, but that almost feels like a year ago. Like, it went so fast.
It almost was a year ago.
No, that's wild, man. That's wild. That's wild,
man. Yeah, I cannot wait for freaking Scarefest.
Together that it's the same show. That yeah.
Oh yeah. Angel's Joker is in the chat saying, hey, y'all, Angel's Joker is in the house with you. What is going on, man? What is happening?
It's great to have you, man. Great to have you. Welcome. Yeah, it's hard to believe that that's the same show because, you acted like a little schoolgirl when that happened. It was great to see.
Oh, dude, any time that you're
it's great to see.
Anytime that you're, excited about something like that. Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%.
We all let the little schoolgirl out every now and again.
Every now and then, let something come out about Friday the 13th, and you'll just see it. You'll just see it. 100%. Oh, let's see. Darren Lowe's in the chat saying, hey, man, Matt looks forward to your shows every Sunday night. Hell yeah, man.
Dude, that's my boy right there. That's my boy right there.
He's also saying, Camp Lake, count me in. There you go, my man. You got somebody.
Hell yeah.
You got somebody.
Hell yeah. Darren, welcome, man. It's always good to see you, man. Thank you for coming on. It's great to see you, my friend.
Dude, I'm all about that, dude.
I
Like,
miss Darian. That's a friend of mine that I used to get to see weekly. Delivering wine, to the BP. But he has went on to bigger and greater things, and that is awesome. Hope he's doing well. But I do miss you, buddy. I miss you, man.
oh yeah. Sarah Campbell's in the chat saying, "Hey, what is going on, Sarah? Thanks for coming and hanging out with us for sure. 100%. What is up?"
Welcome, Sarah.
Caleb Hernandez is saying, "Love your guys' content, man. I appreciate that, man, for sure."
Absolutely. Yeah, we have no idea what the fuck we're talking. I'm sorry, but we, we try. We try.
Megan Mooney Adams is in the chat saying, "Hello, y'all." She is saying, "I got COVID. I'm in isolation. That sucks."
Depending. What's your horror movie collection look like?
It says it could be a good thing.
Because
I hope you feel better.
There's times where I'm midway through my work week wishing I was in isolation with like a freaking couple of, box DVD sets. Like, man, we wish you the best. We hope you get better. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Like that's freaking awesome. Like I hate that you're not feeling well. But that's if you're good, that's like a 5-day pass to do whatever you want to do.
It is. That's why, what I
mean?
I'm not trying to downplay, the sickness or anything. But I will say, even back to being a kid, my mom actually absolutely spoiled my ass when I was sick, dude. Like I miss it to this day. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it was. I'm running up the street. Like, what do you need? She comes back with Halloween 5, 6, 3 Doritos, double stuffed Oreos. Like, is that better than school? Yeah. Sick or not, dude. Yeah. Come on. I'll take it. So, yeah, man. It's weird to say, but I miss being sick as a kid. I was spoiled.
Hey, man, it was definitely different when you were a kid, for sure. 100%.
Spoiled rotten, man. Like
100%. Well, I can't keep up with, all the chat. If I didn't get to your comment, I do apologize, but we need to start talking about Halloween. We are an hour in, and we do need to deep dive into 3 different movies. So we could spend about 20 minutes on each movie talking about this one for sure.
Or we do 2 and we save 1. Like, I'm cool either way.
Either way, man, I definitely want to jump on all 3 of these. With it being a Halloween season, I definitely want to get to all 3 of them for sure, 100%. But let's start with the original, Matt. Let's jump into that. Let's jump into the one that started it all. Let's jump into 1978's Halloween. Let's just talk a little bit of background on that. Do you remember the first time you saw that? Like, is there any recollection to that?
Yeah, I do, because it wasn't that long ago.
What?
Yeah. Guys, I told you guys, as embarrassing as anything I say on here is, I will always keep it real. So I grew up with 4 and 5 for whatever reason. The time where I was, old enough to start watching movies on my own. They must have been, the ones coming out. So I tore up like 4 or 5. The first Halloween that I remember being old enough to go to see in theaters was 6. So maybe that has a lot to do with my love for 6. The original, and this is just something that's in my mind. In my mind as a young teenager, whatever, I always thought, if it's older, it's weaker. It's, less this, less that. And granted, now I know that's not the case.
Right.
I'm just being honest. That's what's in my mind. Like, so the original's back in 78. That can't be near as good as the one made in, 85, right? That's what's in my mind. So I'm telling you guys, I pushed off I did the same thing with The Exorcist. My first viewing of The Exorcist was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I remember you saying it was recent. Yeah.
It was like, 3 or 4 years ago, which is nuts. So the original Halloween was, I don't know exactly how long ago, but when you're taking in consideration when it came out, I saw it way after it came out. Way after.
Yeah.
Way after. So yeah, I remember it vividly. And it shocked the shit out of me because I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I was not expecting much because I thought, and I'm trying to put you in my frame of mind.
Right. Yeah.
If we're on 4 as a young teenager, 4's got to be better, right? 5's got to be a little bit better, right? No, not the case. So I watched it years after it came out, and I really had the same story to tell, like with The Exorcist. I was blown away. Yeah. I was blown away. It just became like an instant classic for me. But I want to say it was within like 10 years ago that I watched the first Halloween. But for me, it was an instant classic. And it's what's so great about the original Halloween is, one, like how little blood and gore.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it. Like, there's hardly any.
Yeah. So
I'll let you go. What comes to mind for me is how amazing the suspense was and how well they did it.
Well,
go ahead, Michael.
It was more like, and I will agree with that. Look at the blood in the movie. You get a little bit of blood when, Loomis finds the matchbook and it pans off to the right and you see, the guy half naked because Michael stole his coveralls. He's got a little bit of blood on his chest. When he kills Judith, there's a little bit of blood on his chest. You know what I mean? Or on her chest. And then when you see, Lori get her arm stabbed, there's a little bit of blood on her arm. But other than that, man,
and
for
we're talking a little.
Slash, yeah, like it is nothing. He used his storytelling and to bring this character to life, and a lot of people will give it credit for starting the slasher genre of the 80s, which it did 100%, but you look back at Psycho, you look at even the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you look at Black Christmas, those movies that came out prior to this, Michael was the first one to be that guy that was kind of like an unstoppable, type of character. You know what I mean? Like, he was pretty much the one, Leatherface did have a mask on, but he was the first one to kind of, bring that presence, of just, that I'm, of somebody to fear. You know what I mean? Like, he brought in that. Michael was so much different. Like, he was. There was no explanation for Michael, and I think that that's something that captivated me so much with that movie. Like, he was just so different from anything that had been seen to that point, up to that point. Granted, you do have Leatherface, but Leatherface was more of a, you're out in the sticks. This guy's freaking crazy. I need to get away from him. Michael was just so. Oh God, what would be a great
this
word?
Could happen in the suburbs, because why, we don't know. He took it to, like, it could happen anywhere.
100%, man. And I've said that multiple times because I think that's the thing that scared me about Halloween for the first time. It was just like, this isn't in, someplace out in Texas that I've never seen before. You know what I mean? This is very relatable, and this guy could be around any corner. And why is he doing this? I have no idea. And as a kid seeing that, I remember the first time seeing that, me and one of my friends, it was probably like 84, 85. We rented Halloween 2. It might have been before that. And Halloween 3. And it was just like a straight binge. Granted, the Halloween 3 was like, we're like, what the hell's going on with this movie? We didn't understand, being that young, the way that it was advertised, blah, 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 blah. I think I was like 6 or 7 years old watching these movies, but it was just like, wow, man, this is super cool. And that's something I always like to bring up too, to where, people are saying, oh, I didn't get into it until this time. And you're going to have different opinions based on, when you saw the movies and how old you were and what your age is. And that's something I like to ask people. It's like, well, I like this movie the best. It's like, the first thing I usually ask is, well, how old are you? Because that puts me in a mind frame, not saying you're immature, not saying that there's a reason why you don't like this. It's just me trying to put you in the mind frame of what movies were out at the time that you were watching horror movies. And that makes a big difference. It does.
And you look at movies differently.
You do, 100%.
For sure.
And me, we have what, like 5 years difference, 5.5 years difference between us. So it only makes sense that you're watching, Halloween 4 and Halloween 5, and
right.
Me growing up watching these movies way too young, more than likely, but I mean, that's kind of a product of the 80s. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, man. Yeah.
They didn't care, dude. It's just like,
I feel bad for you if during the 80s you were not hiding watching a horror movie from your parents. I feel bad for you because that was one of my favorite parts of the 80s. It looks like Mad Mom finally woke up.
Mad Mom's in the chat saying, hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I fell asleep. My alarm clock didn't wake me up, even though I told him to.
That's great.
Good God.
That's great. She works her ass off, but welcome, mother.
Oh, yeah, man.
We're diving into the original Halloween to keep you up to date. But yeah, Michael, I cannot agree with you more. Like asking that, like, how old were you, or this and the other, because it just makes such a difference.
Yeah,
it makes such a difference.
And some people too, like when I'm like, they're like, I like Halloween 4, that's my favorite, and it's like, well, how old are you? And they look at me like, why is he asking me that? Is he saying I'm immature? Is he saying no, dude? I just trying to put myself in the frame of reference on when you saw Halloween for the first time. And that's something. Too, not to take any shots at anyone, but it's like, if someone's like, hey, I like, Rob Zombie's Halloween, that's my favorite. It's like, well, the first thing I'm going to ask is, how old were you? Like, what was your mind frame and how old were you, at this time what are you looking for? Because the younger
we never saw.
Right. And the younger the person is, the more desensitized they are to certain things, like Halloween 1, 1978's Halloween will always be my favorite, more than likely because of the time frame that I saw it in, the impact it had on me the first time that I saw it. It's not so much of, trying to compare this to that to say, hey, well, Halloween 2018 is better than that one. It's like, well, dude, you have to look at the time. You have to look at, the budget. You have to look at, dude, no. John Carpenter in this movie told a fantastic story about someone that has never been seen before, right? He directed a movie that still impacts today. Even now, Malik Akkad is working with Miramax to make more Halloween stuff. And without John Carpenter's vision of what this character was, he brought what was on paper to the screen in a way that made us fall in love with this character, right? You got Loomis in this movie, and if you're a Halloween fan, I've never heard a Halloween fan say, that was good, but that Loomis guy, I'm not really sure about him. No, dude, there has never been a person that has come to me that said, I like Halloween, but I didn't like that Loomis guy, right? Have you ever heard someone come to you owning a horror shop and just said to you, that Loomis guy, he didn't really do it for me?
No, but I almost hope that gentleman comes in one day, because God love him, But
if he does call me, I need to sit through that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no. And I'm gonna say, going right along with what you're saying about like the time you saw whatever Halloween it is that you grew up watching. Like I said, for me, it's 4 and 5. So I had to take another look at, and it wasn't until I got older, really even started talking like with you and, some of the horror community where it baffled me that there was so much hate on 5.
Right.
And I was like, I was taken back. I'm like, well, shit, I always kind of liked 5. But then I was like, well, was it just because that's what I was watching when I was 10,
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I took a grown-up look at it, and yeah, I saw what everybody was saying. I did. I still probably stick up for it a little more than your average fan. I'm not saying it's it's at my top or whatever, but that can probably still stem back from that. I grew up on it. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, it baffled me when everybody was saying, yeah, well, I like this Halloween, that Halloween, but 5 just sucks. And here I am, 4, 5, yeah,
6, yeah, like, dude, 4, 5, I get 6, it.
Let's rock and roll, So yeah, I had to take a step back and review it, and I totally see where they're coming from. So for me, it took us a notch or two back.
Yeah. But
I still hold on to that.
Well, it has sentimental value to it. And that's different than saying like, oh, this movie is a masterpiece, to where it's like, yeah, you know what? I see the flaws with it, but at the same time, I have a sentimental attachment to this movie.
And that can be strong as shit. And
it can be ridiculously strong.
Yeah.
100%. Like, I love Phantasm, and you're kind of like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. But it's just something in my childhood that I was linked to where it's just like, this scares the shit out of me. You know what I mean? And few movies,
nothing wrong with it. There's not
few movies do that to me anymore. So I think you kind of reach back in your past to say, hey, this at one point had you shaking like, a baby, so it's definitely going to hold that sentimental value to you, 100%.
I even had that with, I'll say, let's go to your home turf, Friday the 13th. A movie for me that I don't think aged very well, but I still enjoy because, back to what we say, I tore it up as a kid. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about Jason Takes Manhattan. This movie does not, it does not age super well. It just, and this is all my opinion, right? I don't know shit, but I tore it up as a kid, and for that fact alone, I still enjoy it.
Seeing Jason in a different environment. You know what I mean? Like, granted, dude, if you were to break that movie down through all the holes in that movie, all the problems they had in production and all of that stuff, dude, but at the end of the day, Kane Hodder stood in Times Square. You know what I mean? It's like,
kick that freaking music box over like a boss. Like,
yeah, dude, like at the end of the day.
But I thought it was shit as a kid. That's what I'm saying.
It was flawless. Like as you grow older, you see the holes in the movie. But as a kid, I saw that in theaters. And believe me, when I left theaters, as a 10-year-old kid, I'm just like,
Jason.
It's like, hell yeah, man. Like, fuck yeah. It wasn't until, I was a little older that I'm just like, yeah, that really isn't. Why did Jason speak at the end and say, mommy? Like, what are you doing to me? No, like that wasn't even no, dude. Like at the end of the day, as a kid, it was just like, he's in fucking Manhattan. You know what I mean? For the 5 minutes that he was there. But it's still like,
it does not age well.
No, it does not whatsoever.
But it's, yeah, I'm with you, Michael. It still holds a place for me, man. And I can watch it any given Sunday, brother. I can, man.
And that's, and I'm not here to, we're here to talk about Halloween 1, but at the end of the day, you have to give Friday this, right?
Excuse us, we get off track sometimes.
Right, we did. But you have to give Friday this. Friday probably at its best wasn't as good as Halloween at its best. But Friday never reached the lows that Halloween reached multiple times. You know what I mean? So Friday was like an even keel of, it's great through the time it was in Paramount, to where it's a decent story and it's for the most part consistent, other than Camp Crystal Lake looking different in every single movie. You knew that Jason, he always started where he left off. You know what I mean? Like Jason always started where he left off, to whereas Michael was just like, well, shit, he has a different mask. He has a different, agenda. It's like, oh shit, we're starting from a new timeline. So all these other movies that I watch haven't existed. Now we're going from H2 to H2O. It's like trying to keep track of all of that was just like, especially as a kid, was just like, what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I mean? So that's one thing that I will say about Friday. And you guys know that I'm a huge Friday fan, but Matt, we've talked about it. And, you've asked me that question multiple times, like how, and it took me a while to figure out that, Halloween wasn't there when I was a kid. It wasn't there. Like there was Halloween 1, Halloween 2, and, we got Halloween 3 that was just like, okay, this is different. Whether you like it or you love it or you hate it, whatever, it's Halloween 3. Then Halloween was gone until Halloween 4. And when Halloween 4 came out, Jason was already in Manhattan. He was already in the city. But every year, Jason was there. Freddy was there. Jason, Freddy, Jason, Freddy. All the way up to where Michael was almost non-existent for like 8 years. He was not there. So how can I be a bigger Jason fan than I am Halloween fan, Michael fan? Because Jason was there when I was a kid.
Michael is that fucking bad.
Well, Michael's here now, but in the 80s, he was non-existent. He went through Halloween 2 in 81 and didn't show up again until 88. That's a long stretch for a kid.
That is.
It's different now.
With that, like, I'm actually, because then we're getting into Halloween too. And Michael, I'm going to use the restroom. And
sure,
man, I have so much to say about Halloween 2.
Yeah, well, let's finish up Halloween 1 first when you get back. Let's go through that.
Yeah.
And then we'll definitely get into that.
I'll be back very shortly.
James is saying the 70s was a great decade for horror movies. My top favorite was Star Wars and Halloween 1. Look, dude, the 70s, especially as I get older, I get to, really appreciate the 70s for what they were. And not just horror. Like you had the original Halloween. Yes, you had Star Wars. You had Alien. You had Jaws, dude. It's just like the impact of the 70s was just fantastic, man. And people that debate whether the 80s were better than the 70s. A lot of people that stick up for the 70s are saying quality over quantity, which I see that side of it. You know what I mean? There were just so many great 70s movies that came out and laid the foundation for the 80s movies. 100%, dude. Like, yeah, I get it, James. 100%, dude. And Star Wars, come on, man. I'll talk about Star Wars all day for sure. John is saying, so did Matt see Rob Zombie's Halloween 478? I will definitely throw this back up here, John, when he gets back for sure. I will definitely throw that up there. Let's see. James is saying $320,000 shows you don't have to pay a king's ransom to make a great movie. And dude, 100%, man. Like he did so well with that. And I mean, so well, in fact, that it came out in 1978. I was born in 1978. So here I am talking about it 45 years later, right? I mean, how many movies come out when 45 years later and we're still talking about it? There's not a lot of them, right? 100%. Val is saying, I was 10 years old when this came out. I saw it in the theater with my mom. I fell in love with this movie, the shape and all things scary from that point on. So, Val, that's so awesome. So, this movie from 1978, Halloween, kind of shaped your horror. It was the reason that you enjoy horror today. And that is so freaking cool. And you know what? It's probably mine too. It 100%. Halloween, if you guys remember a few months ago, we ranked Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street. And Halloween 1978 came out as number one for me. Even though I'm a bigger Friday the 13th fan than I am Halloween, they're close. Don't get me wrong. They're very close. Game recognizes game. Like I understand, Halloween, the original 1978, will always hold its place to me. It's my favorite slasher movie of all time. 100%. James is saying, when I first saw this movie in 1978, it took time for me to realize that Michael had a Captain Kirk mask on. Dude, I don't think I realized that until I was probably like 17 or 18 years old. 100%. Jerry is saying, I was 6 and it scared me to death. I can imagine, dude, because I know I didn't see this in theaters. Obviously not. I was born in 78. But I do remember renting it very early on. Of course, I didn't. My parents did. And, we watched it. And yeah, man, 100%. Like, I absolutely love that. Let's see where we're at here. Russell is saying, I think people don't like Halloween 5 because it killed off Rachel. Dude, there's a lot of things that Halloween 5 did that I am not a huge fan of. And that is definitely one of them. James is saying, the first time I saw Donald Pleasance was in this movie, Fantastic Voyage. Okay, dude. I have not seen that for sure. I definitely have not. What is up, my man? John had a question for you. Let me scroll back up here. John was saying, so did Matt see Rob Zombie's Halloween before he saw 78?
No.
Okay.
No. I saw the original before Rob Zombies. I did. So
damn. Let's see. Jerry is saying, Matt, that RW, RW, Jesus, that's not even a letter. Matt, that Rob Zombie's Halloween mask is sick, brother. That's off to your left there.
Yeah. God, I absolutely love it. Unfortunately, it's gonna be for sale at the shop.
What? That sounds like it breaks your heart to say that.
It does, because it's just it's so good looking. But and that's my favorite mask is the dream sequence from one of the, in my opinion, one of the worst Halloween movies of Rob Zombie's Part 2. But the dream sequence mask is just, in my opinion, stupid good.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a shining star in an otherwise dull moment. You know what I mean?
But yeah, by no means do I hold that movie high. But thank you, Jerry. Like this, I mean, if you guys want to see it a little bit better, I'm happy to show it off. It is gorgeous. It's screen. Look, oh my god, it's screen accurate as all get out. But
now, is that a Trick or Treat Studios mask or is that a custom?
No, this is a custom. This is
I was about to say, I don't think that Trick or Treat Studios throwing it out.
Yeah, that's the guy's own work, but it just looks straight out of the film. But yeah, if you want a mask like this, and guys, that's what we're about, man. Michael, you've been in the shop plenty of times.
Yeah.
We want to give you guys all the options that you have. Like if you want a stock Trick or Treat Studios mask, we have that. If you want a custom, and I don't know where the stand went for this guy, But if you want a custom, we have that too. Jerry, you're a part of it. You've worked the shop. Michael, you've been in the shop. You're a part of it. It's just, I want to bring a little bit of everything, guys. If you want to, stock Trick or Treat Studios mask, we have that. If you want the best H2O mask, I want to bring that to you. But I've said it 100 times. But what it comes down to is I love collecting in the horror community. So if I can get something, guys, that you can put in your collection that you absolutely love, that's what I'm all about.
Oh yeah, man.
So yeah.
Russell is saying, "Boy," aka the tall man.
Yeah.
Look, dude.
Now I did like the tall man. Like I wasn't the biggest Phantasm fan, but I liked the tall man.
Dude, there are so many things I liked about Phantasm. One thing that I want to do, sometime soon is I want to go back and watch that whole series. I loved 1 and 2, and I remember not liking anything too much that came out after that. But I'd definitely love to go back. Yeah, I definitely love to go back and watch them again, for sure. Let's see. Jeff D'Angelo is saying that's part of why I like H3. It's more sentimental value. Yes, dude, 100%, man. And I watched, 1, 2, and 3 all this week. At some point this week, I watched 1, 2, and 3, coming into the show, because I definitely like to be, as fresh as possible when we get onto this subject, man. And Jeff, we will definitely get into part 3 tonight. And it did, with another rewatch, man, it's making me like it a little more each time.
And it's what Jeff just said is, and what we've been touching on is a showstopper that no one can touch on. If someone comes up to me and they say it could be a movie I think is absolutely total dog shit, but if they say I have a sentimental connection to this, for me that's a showstopper. Like, I'm not gonna question them on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Who the hell am I to say why? Or dude, it's game over, man. Like, it's game over. Like, I get it. Like, I have those movies that most people think are just dog shit. And if if someone says, man, I have sentimental value, I watched this with my, grandpa, my late grandpa or whatever, and I grew up doing that. Dude, I get it. We get it here, man.
Yeah.
Am I far off say that, Michael? We get it here.
100%.
Movies and Beyond, we get it, man.
For sure.
We get it. So that can go so far.
Yeah. Jerry's asking a question. Would there be a Friday without a Halloween? No, there wouldn't. But I mean, you can do that you can go all the way back. I mean, would there be a Friday without Halloween? No, there wouldn't be. Would there be a sleepaway camp without Halloween? Or
would there be a Halloween without Psycho?
Would there be a Halloween without Psycho? Would there be a Psycho without Peeping Tom? Like, it's just like, you can go back with all of these, so far. 100%. Sean Cunningham came out and said,
"Yeah, be a Twilight without Nosferatu." Yeah,
that's the thing. And, it's a famous.
I know you love Twilight. Like, I'm sorry to go there. I know you like to, put your sparkles on and rub the hills.
It's a thing that's brought up often, where Sean Cunningham came out and said, we need to jump on what Halloween's doing, to make this money off this slasher franchise. So a lot of people are like, well, Friday copied Halloween. And it's just like, here's the issue I have with that. Because a lot of people are like, Friday just copied Halloween. That's the only reason there's Friday, to an extent, but what isn't, and what isn't. And the only thing that Friday copied was the craze that Halloween started for the slasher franchise. Because if you look at the first Friday the 13th, it's a whodunit. Halloween was not a whodunit whatsoever. There wasn't that whatsoever, with that. Did it copy the fact that there was a slasher craze after Halloween? Yes. it did. But if you are to go ahead and look at Halloween after Halloween 1, who's to say that Halloween didn't start to copy Friday? Because Jason was already in Manhattan before Halloween 4 even came out, and he became that unstoppable force. So what are we really looking at here when it comes to the debate?
I think you touched on it very early on, Michael. You can. I've never been one to like get in on that.
Yeah.
Well, you did this. Well, you did that. It don't matter what you're talking about. I'm a big heavy metal fan, and there's people that can say like there wouldn't be my metal band without this metal band,
right?
Or this rock and roll star, or and they can take that all the way back to Elvis, where and it's true. It's true. It all started from somewhere.
Yeah.
We all got a little something from, so yeah, I don't like people that but I don't like that debate. Like, now if you just totally rip somebody off and call a different name, that's one thing. But if you have similarities and stuff, let's look past that, because it all came from somewhere, guys. It all came from somewhere,
100%.
In my humble opinion, like I look at Psycho as the first slasher. I give it its credit. I want to say Halloween because I love Halloween so much. But I give the respect to Psycho, and I think Psycho, in my opinion, is the first slasher.
Yeah. Norman Bates, man. 100%.
Yeah. I might be wrong. I don't know, but I want to say Michael Myers, but no, dude, no. In my opinion, it was Norman Bates, man.
But you have to admit, I'm going to stick up for Jason. So, take that as you will. That's my guy.
No,
100%.
Nothing wrong with that. They, and the writers of Jason, they admit that
Sean Cunningham admitted it. Victor Miller was the one that came up with the story for Friday the 13th. And that's why there was that big, court case with Friday the 13th that, went on for so long, and why we didn't get anything between Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller. So it's, Sean was the one that said, yeah, we need to jump on this Halloween bandwagon, the thing that it's laying, out for the world right now, that they're loving it.
He was right.
Yeah. And it's just like anybody else that's jumping on. I mean, look at Scream when Scream came out. Then you got I Know What You Did Last Summer. Then you got, movies like that. What was the Urban Legends movie? They all came out in the same format that Scream was in. It wasn't necessarily a whodunit, but it was that even Halloween H2O and
coming of age, like
it was different.
School. Yeah.
Jerry's also saying Michael's never been out of Haddonfield. He was in H2O. He went to California. Definitely went to California.
Jerry, do your research. Gee, God.
Jerry, don't let him talk to you like that. You get up. You know what? You get up there. But going back to, the first Halloween and, talking through that movie, you never really saw, anything like that. You had, Michael, he was so much mystery behind him and so many questions that you can still ask about that movie 45 minutes later. I did a video based off of Is He Really After Lori? If you go back and watch that, to where, Lori brought herself to Michael. You know what I mean? And it's just like, for a movie to be 45 years old and still bring up questions like that, still bring up, all these things that are, we're not we're not 100% sure on, dude. That's a great movie.
Michael wins, Melissa.
That's 100%. What are y'all talking about? Michael wins.
I just
Are you lying on my channel? What are you doing?
No, I'm not lying. I'm not
Michael
lying.
wins who? Michael beats who?
I'm sorry, Michael. I didn't mean to ruffle your feathers. I saw.
Is it this right here? Okay, Michael, you live, Jason.
She was asking you who wins.
Melissa.
Yeah, Melissa. Who wins, Michael or Jason?
Jason's winning that fight 99% of the time, 100%. The one thing that I want to, dive into, with the original Halloween is Loomis's impact on that movie. A lot of people, when they talk about ends, they talk about, well, Michael was only in it for X amount of minutes. And then, the argument is, I go back to where Michael was only in, the original Halloween for X amount of minutes. But the original Halloween had, and I'll use Knight from the Night Watches Zone. He was the first person to say this on this channel. So I always want to give him credit for it. He said that, Michael had Loomis, who Loomis was a hype man, and he was. And those were the words that he used. And it's so fitting, for what Loomis did, because when Michael wasn't on the screen, Loomis was constantly talking about Michael, keeping him relevant in the movie.
And had us thinking about him.
Yeah. Nonstop, dude. Loomis is, the darkest eyes, the blackest eye. You know what I mean? It's just like looking through the wall, past the wall to this night. Dude, it was nonstop Loomis hyping Michael up through the whole thing and making you more fearful of Michael than what you saw of Michael, right?
Dude,
because you had Loomis just
a huge chunk of the franchise died.
Oh, it changed everything. It changed everything for that franchise because you no longer had that voice that was constantly like, the evil is here. It's just like you don't have that anymore. And it wasn't until Halloween Kills where they brought Loomis back, in another fashion to where it's just like, wow, man, like this is freaking awesome. And that flashback sequence, they still made him a part of this. And, I really don't think that Halloween has really, and probably will never reach that point of the original because of that missing piece. Like I love Halloween. You know how I feel about Halloween 2018. I love it, but there is that little piece that is missing from it. And that little piece for me is that, Donald Pleasant's character, that, Loomis isn't running around screaming,
and
through the whole thing.
For me, I'm getting closer. But I'm still more at that. I like Halloween 2018. I'm not at that. I love it like a lot of my peers are. I like it. I don't know if I'm at that love it point. But yeah, man, we'll just never get that back. Like, and it could be the best actor, Academy Award winner, doesn't matter. They're just not going to bring what Donald Pleasance brought. He's that one in a lifetime.
I mean, Rob Zombie's Halloween tried to bring a Loomis into the fold, but I don't feel like it had the same impact that Donald Pleasance had.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
But do I take away from what he did? No. In my opinion, he did fine. But
yeah.
Like, it goes back to what I'm saying. It's a role that's not gonna be fulfilled, man. Like Donald Pleasance was just made for it. And what cracks me up is that guys, I'm telling you, look back. When he was originally doing that, he was pissed. Donald Pleasance was pissed. He was already an accomplished actor. He was looking down on doing this horror film as like a step back in his career. He was not happy with it whatsoever. He stayed in his trailer drunk. Now, I'm not saying he didn't change his mind with 2, 5, and 6 and all that stuff. But the original Halloween, no, he was not on board. Let's do this. He was not happy whatsoever.
Yeah.
If anybody in there can prove me wrong on that, because that's how he was. They even say that he spent most of his time drunk, and that you can actually even see it on the ride to Smith's Grove Sanitarium when he's saying, like, I never want to be released. They say he is literally tanked on that scene. And
Yeah.
I see it when I watch it. He was not happy. And I get it. You know, at that time, 1978, horror was looked down on. That wasn't where you went to succeed as an actor or actress. It just wasn't in 1978.
It was for a lot of people, it was where they got their start. You know, you look at Jamie Lee Curtis, you look at Kevin Bacon in the original Friday.
Where you go to end.
Right.
You know, it was looked down on, Michael. It just was. You know, so for an actor like Pleasance that's been at the highest of highs to be doing this Halloween slasher movie, he was not happy about it.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's
you know,
interesting, man. And that's how I know him. I would have never known Donald Pleasance if it wasn't for Halloween.
Yeah, but me too. You know, I wasn't a big fan that you know, it's that's what introduced Donald Pleasance to me. You know, the previous stuff he did for that, I would have never seen. You know what I mean? 100%.
Right.
For sure. Looking at Halloween 2, you know, like let's jump into that. You know, Halloween 1 is obviously, you know, a fan favorite. So many people love that movie, and we've dissected that to death. When you look at Halloween 2, I feel like, you know, as much as the beginning of that movie felt like the original Halloween, you know, where the setting is the same, you know, where he's still in Haddonfield, and, you know, you get one of my favorites. You don't know what death is. You know what I mean? You get that line, you know, but it, to me, Halloween 2 is in my top 4 favorite Halloween movies. It is. But I feel like there was a big drop between Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. How did you feel about Halloween 2 itself? From looking at the first.
Okay, all right. Well, for one, I'll say this goes in your benefit, Michael. You know, Mad Mom says, you know, I agree that Jason would win. Look at Kane Hodder versus Nick Castle. Like, if you look at it that way, Mad Mom, Mother, I get that. Like, I totally get that. Kane Hodder is gonna whoop that ass. So going to Halloween 2 versus, you know, put it on a versus scale versus the original Halloween. I'm not going to put it as far behind as like you made it seem to be. And if that's how you look at it,
yeah, it is.
That's fine. I don't put it that far behind. I love Halloween 2, man. So I don't, and I totally see where you're coming from, Michael, because you're all about that. Had to be almost a perfect movie for you, the original Halloween, if I'm not mistaken.
I would say it's my favorite slasher of all time.
It had to be a damn near perfect slasher for you.
Yeah,
you know, if you're talking about like you know, a crazy guy out there for no reason, we don't know why he's doing what he's doing, the suspense, yada yada. It had, you know. And I'm speaking for you, so I could be wrong, but it had to be damn near close to a perfect slasher for you. So, and I agree, but for me, man, I put it above 2, but I just don't put it that far above 2.
Oh, so you think that like Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 are very close to each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. But I put Halloween 1 above it.
Right. Yeah.
I put Halloween above it. I just don't put it light years above it. Because for me too, I also like action. I like, you know, a lot going on, and each one doesn't give you there's not a lot going on in H1, but I love it. I'm putting it above what the movie I'm talking about. So
right, a lot of H1 was setting the tone.
It was. It was. If you're talking like suspense and like, dude, it's on another level. It's on another level. But I'm saying what 2 did for me is I also like to have a little more visual and stuff. So it did that. It kept the suspense. It didn't by any means do it near like 1 did, but you have like more kills. You have a little bit more, Michael. I love the whole hospital setting. So yeah, man, I really enjoyed Halloween 2.
Yeah, I did as well.
And I also think it's one of the best endings in the franchise. And I think it even rivals the original, like down to the final scene with, now you gotta throw like realism out the window. She shoots him in the face twice, guys. Come on, that would have been the end of it. So they, in my opinion, when they start talking late in the franchise, is Michael supernatural or whatever, that should have been answered in 2. That should have been answered in 2. Unless you were just not watching that film. They shoot him twice in the face, and all that happens is some blood trickles down his mask, and he's still swinging. That right there enters you into the supernatural realm.
I mean, you could say that about 1 too, where Donald Pleasance shoots him 7 times.
Sure.
I mean, granted, he said he only shot him 6 times, but if you listen, there are 7 shots.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
On a revolver that only holds 6 bullets. I get it.
Sure. That's why I'm saying it's kind of goofy when people like bring up like, not till resurrection. Like, well, is he supernatural? Like, well, what the F is supernatural? Yeah. You can bring that up from the original. You can.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, he's shot twice in the face, and it doesn't really faze him that much. Aside from that, he can't see very well.
Yeah.
His vision's a little blurred. Yeah. So
a little blinded. Never.
But just how cool that is, man. Like, with him, then he can't see, and he's swinging the scalpel, and they turn in the explosion. And, dude, I'm a huge 2 fan. From when he walks straight through the glass door coming into the hospital,
and mind you, a hospital where there's only 2 workers, right?
Yeah. It was a very, very understaffed hospital, for sure. I can laugh at that as well. So I mean, yeah, but I love 2, man. I love 2, like, because for me it's like it's almost like the original, not as good, nowhere near the suspense, but you get more Michael, more visuals. So yeah, that's where I'm at, man. I absolutely love it. But it's no OG for me.
Right.
And his look was fantastic. In the portrayal that Dick Warlock, his portrayal of Michael, from his movements to was second to none. Like, it was phenomenal.
Dick Warlock was definitely a fun Michael. It's funny because Val just put Halloween 2 equals Haddonfield Hospital where no one works at night. It's true. Like, there wasn't, a lot of people there.
No, there wasn't. Now, did that add to the creepy factor? Yes, but did it also add to the unrealistic? Yes. So it's like, I don't know, take your pick, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, with these movies, though, if you really start to look at that, you're going to break them all down to where it's just like, there's no way, 100%. But, Halloween 2, for me, it did take a little, definitely a back seat for me, but the beginning of it really felt a lot like, the original to me. And when it went back to, the hospital, it did get a little slow for me. There were a lot of long, dialogue conversations that I didn't really feel like were, it's like, come on, let's go. Let's keep going. And keeping Lori in the hospital, granted, makes total sense for the story. But at the same time, it's just like, there were some suspenseful moments, but a lot of them, from the suspenseful moments were felt almost taken from the original. Like when she's trying to get in the door and Michael's walking towards her. It's just like we already saw this in the first one where she was trying to get into Tommy Doyle's house, and he was walking across the street. Well, now he's just walking across a parking lot. I get that, but in John Carpenter's vision, he was trying to end this. That's why he had Michael basically explode and do the firework and fall and burn, to his death. He wanted this to be, the end of what Michael was. But
if I'm not mistaken, he didn't even want this movie to happen.
He didn't want this movie, but it was the only way he could make Halloween 3, was to come back and do this one. So him and Deborah Hill came back and they're just like, we don't know. Let's just make them siblings. You know what I mean? Like it's his sister. That's why he's walking across all of Haddonfield to get to a hospital. Like, there's no other reason. So we'll just make them. Okay, we'll go with siblings. Yeah, that'll work. We'll say that they're related. And I get that, man. But and
I also jumped on board with that.
And a lot of people did because that's what they knew. That was the story that they knew.
On board with that. I did like.
I've never, me, I've never been a fan of it, because that's what changed the mystery for me. Because at that point, he was no longer the Shape. He was like my crazy ass older brother, and that gave Michael meaning to what he was doing. And it made it so much less scary for me because it was just he's now some guy who kills his family.
And that's the reason why they say that they disregarded it in 2018. I guess I never got the, that same attraction you did to like So Mysterious.
Yeah. The mythology, man.
I never
the mystery.
Got that. Like and I guess my biggest gripe was with that is like, if you were going to do that, do it like 1 or 2 movies down the road. Just not 40 years. Like, that's all that was my biggest thing. It was like, we had 40 years to say they are brother and sister. I mean, so I just think it was like just very late to change such a dramatic part, but whatever.
Yeah.
And even that I accepted, and went through with it. But yeah, that. I'm not telling you nothing you don't know. I never had that same.
That was my attachment to Michael.
He never had to be so mysterious to me. Like, not that mysterious. Like
that's what made him different from Freddy, from Jason. There was no rhyme or reason to what he was doing, and to me, that's what he made him so appealing to me as a character. Was this could happen anywhere to anyone at any time, and to me, yeah, it definitely, James is saying that had to be the most darkest hospital I've ever seen. What's wrong? They can't pay the electric bill. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely dark for sure. And with that, and I'm not saying, just, Matt, I know that you really enjoy Halloween too, and I do as well. But, just to play devil's advocate with that movie, it's just, there are some things I wish were a little different, but it still is in my top 5 Halloween movies for sure. 100%. Halloween 2 was definitely really good. Whether you like, the brother sister angle or not, that's what introduced it. And Halloween 2 did some good things, and it did some other things that were kind of questionable from the first one. But at the same time, it felt very, especially the beginning, and even when Loomis was out there searching with the sheriff, it felt very much like the original. and that was great, man. There are a lot of great things about that. To wrap up the Michael Myers story, which it was at the time, obviously, moving forward, it wasn't. When Halloween 4 came out, I felt like it was a solid ending to that story. Laurie's finally free. The boogeyman is dead. Loomis sacrifices himself, to bring an end to Michael Myers, which is almost kind of poetic because he had given his whole life to Michael, and everything was about Michael at that point. It was only fitting to end the story that, he went out with him. And, granted, Halloween 4, which, I love Halloween 4, don't get me wrong. But that kind of had to, undo the results of Halloween 2. So, very good movie. I definitely enjoyed Halloween 2, for sure. But that brings us to this one, Halloween 3, man. I know that you're not a huge fan of Halloween 3. And it's one that is, and Jeff, if you're still in the chat, buddy, it's one that's definitely starting to grow on me a little bit, for sure. Halloween 3. So I watched it again. I want to say Thursday night. It was one night this week. I want to say it was later end of the week. But I did watch Halloween 3 again. And, each time I watch it, man, it's just a little bit better and a little bit better. And I think that one of the things with Halloween 3, is once you get past the fact that Michael is not, the main character in this movie, you can kind of sit back and see, okay, I get where they're going with this, because it was an anthology piece. It wasn't a Michael Myers story. And as much as that, aggravated me as a kid, I moved past that, and I'm able to watch this movie to say, hey, let's watch it for what it is and not for what it doesn't have in it. So were you able to catch up on Halloween 3 this week?
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got about halfway through, and I turned it off. It's just, and I had already done this before. I want to say it was about a year ago. I put it in to say, okay, I know Michael's not in this. Let's give it a whirl. And guys, I don't like Michael. I don't like to sit and bash on stuff. But there's just nothing in it for me. There's nothing in it for me.
So have you ever finished the movie?
Twice.
Okay. So you do know what happens. Like
I do.
Okay.
I do. And it just does. Yeah, it's super weak on my opinion, on my board. I can't get into the whole, they're setting these kids up to, the face is melting, does nothing for me, Michael. So that's kind of like where I like to stop, because I don't want to shit on the movie. It's just not for me, man. It's not for me. The Halloween 3. I kind of want to hear where you are with it, and
yeah. So like with Halloween 3, it definitely went into it. You get the very beginning part where you're trying to figure out, what's going on. You get this man that's, running from something. You see the car behind him, and you see these guys in the suits. The one guy gets down to choke him, and he gets crushed between, the two cars that, crush him in between. The guy gets away, he goes to the hospital, and he's like, hey, they're going to kill us all. And Tom Atkins is there like, this guy's freaking crazy. And when that guy comes in, it's no, it wasn't Dick Warlock that came in. Who was it that came in? Well, the guy comes in the suit, and he grabs when he crushes like the top of his nose and his mouth, that was pretty nasty. Like, that was like a horrible way to die. Like, that is like one of the worst ways to die I could ever think of. Because this guy's strapped down, and you're grabbing like the top of his his nose and the top of his mouth, and you're like pulling that crap out, and it's just like, you've got to be shitting me. Like, that has got to be the worst way to go out. You know, the guy goes out to his car, he sits there and burns himself, the car blows up, and you know, it leaves a total mystery to what's going on. And it's just like, you know, that's not really, you know, a bad way to start a movie. Now, granted, as a kid, I'm like, well, where the hell's Michael Myers at? You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, well, you know, being a little older now and watching it for what it is, it's just like, and it's cool too, man. And this is something else that, you know, really stuck with me, is getting to see all the you know, all the actors and actresses from you know, the original Halloween, you know, back in this movie, and seeing them at that time frame, you know, seeing them, you know, like Annie's a different character, and it's just like, oh shit, Annie's in it, Dick Warlock's in it, you know, this is freaking awesome, you know, just to see those characters and go back, you know, for that, it was just, it was super cool. And you know, Tom Atkins does play a character that he's, you know, there's a lot of things that happen in this movie where it's just like, all right, you know, like, I'll suspend disbelief and, you know, go ahead and buy that. But, you know, at the end of the day, man, it was unique. You know, it was different. It wasn't what we wanted at the time. It wasn't, you know, advertised well. You know, we didn't know what we were getting going into it for the first time. But I don't think that it's a really bad story. You know, like, when you look at the Samhain, you know, play that they played on it, you know, to where it was like to sacrifice, you know, the children, you know, and based on the anthology of, you know, the story that, you know, the main character in this movie, or not the main character, but the main baddie in this villain, the Colonel Cochrane of this movie, was, you know, trying to tell, you know, Tom Atkins character that, you know, what he was doing, you know, and stealing the stone from Stonehenge, and, you know, all of that stuff, and it all tying into like the ancient, you know, druids and stuff like that. It just, it kind of hooked me in this time, man. Like, it really made me, you know, go in and think and be like, hey, you know, this isn't really that bad. Like, it kind of stuck with me. You know, the emotion they tied in, you know, with his kids, and, you know, how it ended, and, you know, the girl being kidnapped, and, you know, being turned into, you know, the cyborg or robot or whatever, you know, you want to call it, man. It was all impactful. You know, granted, as unrealistic as some of the points were, you know, it was still like, it kept you guessing until the end, you know, and it had the ending to where it could pretty much go either way, to where you're saying, yes, they succeeded, or no, they didn't. You know, you weren't feeling that type of ending whatsoever, to where you could fill in the blank of how you wanted that to end.
Say that again.
So you weren't feeling
sorry,
that.
I was reading some comments. I'm sorry.
So you weren't feeling that ending, that you could kind of like fill in your own ending there on how you wanted that to end? No. So, okay. Like, nothing like on that, or
nothing,
you know?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Michael. When the ending was around, I could care less. I just, no.
So what do you hate about it?
I'm not
so
even
much?
trying
Like,
to be a smart ass. God, it just offered me nothing. It just offered me nothing. I was bored to tears. I didn't care to, like, if they thought something cool was happening when the kids, like, heads were melting. I just thought it was cheesy, corny. I didn't care about the story. Weak. I didn't like anything about it, man. Nothing.
So there was nothing that you liked in that movie whatsoever.
Not whatsoever. Like, I'm not trying to be funny.
All right.
Nothing. It just it made me mad as a kid, and then I went back to watch it as an adult, and I was like, okay, I see why I didn't like this. I just no. I'm not. I hate to say I'm not even the biggest John Carpenter fan.
But you love Christine.
Yeah, but he didn't write the story of Christine. Stephen
No,
King.
but he brought it to life. He took paper and brought the emotion and the actors of the characters to life.
Story.
Well, you can write a story, but it doesn't mean you can bring it to life.
When it comes down to his stories, I usually don't like them. Like I'm not a fan of The Thing. I know these are all unpopular opinions, but I'm not really into his work.
But you have to say that, like, if a writer writes something, it's just a piece of paper. And a director has to take what's on that piece of paper and bring it to life in a way that appeases the people watching it, right?
Correct.
So you look at The Shining.
But I just can't give them all the credit. I can give them credit, but not all the credit.
Well, right. They had a story to go off of. But at the same time, they have to bring that to light. They have to give you that moment when you're watching it to be like, oh, shit.
They do. But I would rather like the writer of the Babysitter Murders. I forget his name, but I hate that no one knows his name because he came up with the Babysitter Murders that is now Halloween.
Right.
I hate that he doesn't get enough credit. Same with
Does the writer of that movie choose that mask?
But Deborah Hill also didn't say, I'm only going to do this if my name's above it. John Carpenter did.
So does the writer of Halloween choose that mask? That iconic mask that we say, is, a lot of what makes Halloween?
No, Tommy Lee Wallace did.
Okay, but the writer doesn't. So
correct.
It's like all those things, at the end of the day, Tommy Lee Wallace, yeah, okay, like here's the mask. John Carpenter had to be like, hey, we're going with this one because if I'm not mistaken, they brought a Kirk mask, they brought a clown mask, up there, and John Carpenter had to be the one to say, hey, we're going with this mask. This is the vision of the shape that I want to bring to life.
After Tommy Lee Wallace doctored it up, correct.
But I'm sure that he wasn't like, hey, this is what we're going to use. No, John Carpenter's like, this is the one that we're going to use, in the movie. He set the pacing for what that movie looked like. Did he write the story? No. But everything that you see visually, the cuts, Michael coming up out of the darkness, that beautiful shot, that's all under the direction of John Carpenter, and with a writer, someone who wrote a story out, to actually get that brought to life. Dude, Halloween isn't anything without John Carpenter. It's not. Like, and we can agree to disagree on that, but Christine, the movie, itself, great story to read, but does that come to fruition, on screen the way that it does?
Same thing.
And I'm not saying
but they needed a good story to start with.
Well, true, but it's not being brought to the screen in the way that it's brought. Like, if I'm not mistaken, you said that Christine is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Does it look the same way without John Carpenter? It doesn't. The director isn't just some guy that puts his name, up on something. He is the one that is bringing that vision, that what is on that paper, that you can look at on your screen.
I would rather the writer's name be above it than the director.
It's just like it's.
I always would.
Yeah, it's just 100%, man. Like I give directors so much credit because I know what they go through. I know what all the stuff that their name is on there because they're responsible for what is on the screen. Just like the movie is called Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Can't you also agree that the writer should get a little bit more credit than they do?
They do. It's in the credits. It says written by.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the credits. I'm just saying, like,
does that show up on the screen with someone that writes something? No, because if somebody writes a story, any movie studio is going to be like, we need to get a big director that can bring this to life, because a writer can't bring it to life. They can write a story. In some cases, somebody will do something that is written and directed by, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but in most cases, you know, it's written by someone else and directed by someone else.
Right.
Like you look at like big pictures, like, you know, like Avatar and stuff. Do you think that would look the same without James Cameron? Like, there's no way. Like James Cameron, you know, Aliens.
But like, what was Deborah Hill's part in Halloween?
She helped write the movie. And
so why is her name above there?
I don't know. You know, I wasn't there in 1978. I was still in diapers, probably shitting my pants at that point. You know, I definitely wasn't there. But I mean, you can say that for everyone. I mean, Deborah Hill had a big part in Halloween 5, and look at Halloween 5. You know what I mean? It's just like, wow. Like, that's a Halloween without John Carpenter.
Still didn't put her name above that one.
No. I mean, I wouldn't want my name above that one. Like 100%. Like, there's no way. You know, it's just, I just feel like, you know, not giving director credit for, you know, bringing a vision that is on paper.
I've never said I don't give directors credit.
You know, that's huge, you know, for me. Like, that is a tough thing to do, is to take words and make, you know, visuals out of what you're reading, for sure. And I mean, the biggest case of that, you know, with The Shining, you know, like that was brought to a movie and Stephen King absolutely hates it. You know, but it's one of the classic horror movies of all time. You know, so it's just like that's a tough, you know, sell with that. Like it's freaking crazy. James is saying the Silver Shamrock, that song will drive you bonkers. Hated that damn song. It makes you want to beat yourself in the head with a monkey wrench. And that was like the whole point of the movie. Like even Tom Atkins was like, I want to bang my head against the wall, because I'm tired of hearing this. It's on every single channel. Like every time I turn the radio, this song is on. Every time I turn on the TV, this song is on. Yeah, and it was kind of the point of what the movie was trying to get across, was this is absolutely everywhere. You know, and even Tom Atkins' character is freaking out through this whole thing. Like, you've got to be freaking kidding me right now. Like, I got to listen to this again. Like, seriously. James is saying, what was the inside of those robots caramel stuff that just oozed out of them? Man, I guess it was just whatever, you know, robots at the time had for maybe hydraulic fluid. I really couldn't tell you exactly what it was, James, but it definitely wasn't blood for sure. 100%. Val's Views is saying 16 days for Halloween, 16 days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock. I can't play for real. Oh, that song. I'm not going to lie. That song was stuck in my head for like 2 days after watching that movie. James is saying the only thing I liked about it is when the bugs and snakes came out of the boy's head. And not only that, man, like when that snake bit the dad in that waiting room, like they all ended up dying because of that one boy, all the things coming out of that boy's head. Like it was definitely a plan to do that for sure. Val is saying, Jerry Wilson, you are correct, but he did write H2 because Deborah and him got screwed money-wise on the first one. They did totally get screwed out of the first one, money-wise, for sure. Jeff D'Angelo is saying, I think every one of us should go to the Halloween 50th anniversary convention. That is in Pasadena, California. Jeff, I am doing my best to try to be there in 5 years.
I'm going before then. But yeah, I'll be at the 50th. I think I want to go before then.
You want to go to what, Pasadena?
Yeah.
Just to like what, see the sights or?
No, I mean, are they only going to do it every 5 years?
Yes.
Or every 10? Oh.
Yes. Yeah, they did 40th. 45th.
Well, I want to start seeing some sights, man.
Kind of like traveling to like different conventions in different areas.
I do want to start seeing some sites. I want to start. I want to hit the Camp Crystal Lake. You know, I want to hit that, man.
Yeah.
I do. You know, the Overlook Hotel. You know, whatever it is, I want to start hitting that up.
Yeah. Jerry Wilson is saying, when a songwriter writes a song, you don't hear who wrote it, only the one that sings it, and that's true. 100%. The person that
and that fucking sucks. That sucks.
And that's why, like a lot of, singers and bands and stuff, they have something called ghostwriters and, other performers that are writing music for people that, don't get credit for, stuff that they wrote.
I just hate that I don't know the name of some of the people who've written the stories for some of my favorite movies. I just hate that. I fucking hate that.
I mean, like I said, dude, it's one thing to have something on paper, and it's one thing to bring something to, fruition, and for everybody to sit and enjoy, what that is and actually see. Melissa saying, I will not watch the Crystal Lake series. I refuse. With no Jason, it will suck. Well, good news, Melissa. There is someone casted as a character who is an adult playing Jason in the new Crystal Lake series. So there will be a Jason in the new Crystal Lake series. Let's see. And if Halloween series don't have Michael in it, I won't watch it. And it is definitely not something that is, welcomed at this point. And we talked a little bit about that on our last show about, anthologies and the amount of anthology movies that there are now, like Trick or Treat and VHS and stuff like that. I don't think that it would be pertinent for Halloween to come out and just be another one of those at this point. In 1980, what was it, 3? When Halloween 3 came out, that was different. But their problem is they just were like, Halloween 3, they never said that Michael was not a part of this. So it was definitely, a shock to people, as is myself renting it and being like, well, where the hell is Michael Myers at? Melissa is saying Halloween is not Halloween without Michael. A Friday is not Friday without Jason. Well, I mean, Pamela didn't do a bad job in the original. I did like, the portrayal of, Pamela Voorhees in the first one. But she was in the family for sure. Let's see. Russell is saying without Pamela Voorhees, we wouldn't have Jason. That's true. That is definitely true. 100%. But yeah, man, like we are running out on time. We're at 2 hours and 22 minutes. So I am going to wrap this up for the night, but definitely a good night, man. And, hanging out with everybody. I always look forward to these on Sundays, for sure. 100%.
Always.
Yeah. And we have Scarefest this week. So I can say this week now. Now that it's Sunday, I can say Scarefest is this week. Whether you're getting down there on Thursday or Friday, or Saturday. I know Matt will be down there. I know I'll be down there. Some of you guys will be down there. And I can't wait to meet everybody. If you see me down there, man, just definitely, hit me up. I'll probably be running around like an idiot. There are plenty of after parties that go on afterwards. I'll try to hit a few of those as well. And yeah, like definitely, if you're down there, hook up with me. I'll be down there for sure. 100%. Another great show, Matt. Another great bunch of people hanging out with us. And when we come back, next Sunday will be at Scarefest. So there will be no show next Sunday. But the following Sunday, I'll be putting the thumbnail out soon. We will have a month wrap up of Halloween, and I'll have a few special guests on the channel that night, and we're going to talk about all the Halloweens of the past, what we would like to see in Halloween in the future. We'll talk a little bit about, Miramax securing the rights of Halloween. And also, don't forget, if you're still here, don't forget to join me on Wednesday. Wednesday night, I'm going to do a show about Scarefest. So if you are participating in Scarefest, or you want to, talk about Scarefest and all the stuff, associated with that, join me Wednesday night at 8 p.m. I'm going to go live, do about an hour, and talk about Scarefest and all the guests and, who we want to see and this and that. And, kind of talk about the area a little bit, and what's going on in, you know, certain areas down there, and, you know, some of the after parties you can go to, some of the restaurants in the area and stuff like that. So it'll definitely be a fun show Wednesday night. Make sure that if you are here tonight that you join for that as well. And Matt, dude, another great night talking horror and talking Halloween. You know, we get wrapped up and, you know, talking with the people in the chat and everything. We don't get to dive in as deep as I would like to with all these movies, but I really can't wait, you know, not only for Scarefest this week and meeting a lot of people in the chat and hanging out a little bit. I just can't wait, man. I'm super excited about this week to come for sure.
Same.
Hell yeah.
Love you guys, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, definitely. Jerry Wilson's asking, Michael, are you live filming Scarefest? I will not be live, but I will be filming at Scarefest. So hopefully I can put a video together shortly after that, that I can put up on the channel for you guys to kind of get a walkthrough of what Scarefest is. You know, if you can't make it, if you do want to see what Scarefest is all about, because not everybody in the chat is in the area to be able to go to that. So Jeff D'Angelo, oh no, he is saying, unfortunately, Scarefest is not looking good for me to make it to. Jeff, I'm sorry, buddy, if you don't make it down there this time. I will definitely put a video up so you can see. If you aren't able to make it, my friend, you will be able to at least see what was going on down there. I'll do my best to get that out to you guys. And Jamie Hart is saying one thing right here, and she's saying Jerry is buying the first round of drinks. That is what I'm talking about, Jerry. Let's see what the most expensive bottle they have down there is, and see if I've ever tried it before. I'm just
I like Patron.
I want a bottle of a name I can't pronounce. Let's say that. Let me have a drink of something I can't pronounce. And Jerry is throwing this right back and saying yes, and Jamie is buying all after that. That's what it looks like. I'm drinking for free one night, man, and that's freaking outstanding. Hell yeah!
All jokes aside, I'll take a PBR. So.
Oh yeah. All right, well, everybody, I want to thank you all for joining us. And Matt, I'll talk to you for just a minute backstage, dude, and we'll talk a little bit about what this week looks like. But for everybody else, Sunday nights, always thank you for joining us, and we had a blast as always. And we will see you guys next time.
Oh man.
Toodaloo, motherfucker. Hey.